recorded an MP4 on OBS and it failed 3 times. All the footage is pretty much ruined. So I'm gonna re-record this. I'm gonna get to it. It's gonna be good. I've been looking forward to this video, right? And this is the second time I've had to record it. Okay, so straight into it off the bat. I've had the Red Dragon K556 the Varajas keyboard for a year now. And my little brother said he wants a mechanical keyboard, so I'm like, alright, you know, I'll give you my Red Dragon and I'll get the upgrade, you know. So I got myself the An Pro 2. I've always been hesitant to get a 60 keyboard, but I'm so glad I did. Let's get into it and I'll explain why. So when I opened the package, I was greeted with the An Pro 2 box, and I was immediately impressed with the fact that the box that the An Pro 2 comes in is smaller than my actual Red Dragon keyboard. So I was like, whoa, hang on a minute. I've never had a 60 keyboard before, so this is new territory for me. When I actually opened the box, seeing the keyboard, I instantly fell in love with it. This form factor is so nice to look at, and the RGB looks, it's just a great keyboard. I went with black, as you obviously seen, simply because it matches my setup more. I have an all black setup, so it just goes with it more. That's literally the only reason I went with black. I would have went with white if I had a bit more color, I guess, but it is what it is. I do think the RGB, although it shines great on black as well, it looks 100 million gazillion times better on white. It really, they complement each other so well. Take that with a grain of salt. I obviously can't show you what the white looks like. Do your research. Let's carry on. So also in the box you get obviously the keyboard, you get the manual, a keycap puller, and you get different colored keycaps as well, so you can customize the board straight off the bat. And you get a red USB-C cable, which sucks booty. It's a terrible cable. I immediately hated it when I looked at it when it was red and it's not a neutral color. No go. Only bad point in this is the cable, but I have USB-C cable, so I just swapped it out. There was no issue really. So underneath keyboard you have the An Pro logo. You have a nice big number 1 here, and you have 4 rubber grip feet, and you have the, where is it? There, the on off toggle switch for wireless capability. On top, you can see the keyboard is branded with function focus. You can see the function keys there, so you have all the keys that you would have had on like a, say, a 10 keyless keyboard anyway. And that's why I've actually kept the black caps on, just so I can learn the layout of the board. Let's get on to the build quality. So when picking up this board, you can feel that it's really sturdy, solid. There's a bit of weight to it. Feels like a board that will last a long time. The keys are wonderful to type on. I went with the red Gateron switches just for that linear smooth push feel. The keycaps are actually double shot PBT, so the legend does not fade. Yeah, the build quality is great. There's the option then to actually mod it as well. You can get foam padding on the inside, internal foam padding on the inside to dampen the sound even more, as well as like rubber O-rings to just really dampen the sound. I will do that in a later video, and we'll like test the differences between the sound without and the sound with mods. If you want to see that, want to hit the subscribe icon with the bell and all that jazz so you don't miss it. Anyway, because I was typing on the keyboard. Anyway, the board sits in this solid plastic frame, which feels really premium and upmarket. In fact, the whole board feels premium and upmarket. The USB-C port holds the cable tight and snug, so it will not pop out. It doesn't feel loose ever at all, and even when you plug it in, you can feel like a click sound, so you know it's secure. So in terms of build quality, I have no faults at all. Let's get on to usability. This is a very compact keyboard, as you can see. It's a 60 keyboard. It does take getting used to. There is no option to change the height angle of the keyboard. I'd recommend getting a wrist rest if you're not happy with that angle and you want to change, just so you avoid those carpal tunnel moments. The keyboard has the option of wireless with the 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and obviously wired with type C. The latency on wired is 1.8 milliseconds, and the latency on wireless to respond is 19.8 milliseconds. So I would recommend using wired if you're competitively gaming, like saying like an FPS shooter or so on, just for the best response times. But wirelesses would be perfectly fine for casual gaming or just web searching or document creating. You know, so once you learn the layout of this keyboard, it's capable of acting like a 10 keyless, which is wonderful. So many different functions, which is nice, and I love that they've labeled it. I can't stress that enough. I love the labels, just so beginners can learn, like me, because I am actually a beginner in this. The RGB in this board is fully customizable. As you can see, I've gone with my little purpley blue layout, and that's customizable via the downloadable software from the Open Labs site. Lights up brilliantly, really shines through. And another little feature they've included is if you tap the caps lock, lights up in a different color. Red, I think, is the only color, I'm not sure, but I really appreciate that, so you know you have caps on if it's all red, and now you're out of caps and you're back to your little beautiful RGB setup on your board. The software is called Oben's Kit, and I have it here now. There's the settings, so you see our information, the device model, battery, running time, serial number, whatever you need that for. You have your layout, you can have a custom layout, you tap your sensitivity, your backlight and brightness, caps lock LED, which I explained before, which I love. Obviously you can enable your macros or your magic FN. Yeah, then obviously you have auto sleep. If you're on Bluetooth, I just leave it at the max, which is 60 minutes, because I usually just use the keyboard on wired anyway. And then you can have your Bluetooth bind setups, and you can clear them if you want. And obviously then you can do your firmware upgrades and stuff like that. You have your layout for your different keyboards and function keys and so on. Then obviously you have your lighting, multiple of different options. I use rainbow trigger with these colors. Obviously you have a whole array of different colors on this palette, which is nice. You can obviously delete and add. I think the minimum you can have is 7, but it lights up well with this color scheme I have. There's your macro settings, and there is audio visualization, which I do not use, and that is all there is to it in the settings, really. And that's the app. Price recommendation. Now there's 2 options, right? So you have Amazon and Bangood. Why I say there's 2 options is that there's actually a big price difference. Amazon is 110 euros right now, usually it's 115. Bangood is 70 including shipping, so there's a 45 euro price difference, which is a lot of money. Difference is Amazon can ship next day, Bangood can take a month or longer to ship, so it's up to yourself whether you're dying for the key, you need a keyboard, and you're willing to pay the extra, or you're willing to wait, you know, and save that 45. If you really want the board now, I will leave a link below to the Amazon. I will also leave the Bangood link if you're looking to see the options you have there. If you do buy on Amazon, it does actually support the channel, so I appreciate that, and thank you. Now here's my final thoughts. I've got to be honest with my recommendation. There's other boards that offer more for the price that's on Amazon anyway, like the glorious GMMK, which actually has hot swappable switches. The AM Pro 2 obviously does not. Anyway, the AM Pro 2 is a great starter keyboard for anyone looking to get into mechanical keyboards for the first time. It has high quality materials at a decent price if you go through Bangood, and obviously options for mods is insane for a starter keyboard. It's perfect. It's still very much a viable option in 2021. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. The only reason I knock marks off is the terrible cable that they give away with, and the for not having hot swappable switches. So if you enjoyed this video on the AM Pro 2, why not leave a like and subscribe? It helps out the channel a lot, and it's greatly appreciated. If you want to see more of me, I'm back streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at twitch.tv/Vaz300. Link will be in the description. Thank you, and have a great day.
You say 2 banana and you are still trying to go win.
I will kiss you. Oh, see, look what you've done. Look what you've done.
Dogs.
I love dogs.